And that's what motivated me to do this. I didn't want this job. I literally didn't want it.
You had a great life. Traveling and...
Man, I can tell you can pick an easier profession.
Yeah.
But somebody had to do it because nobody was doing it. And we put our faith in various people, and most recently Corey Bernardi, and that didn't work. And I just thought, you know what? But it does attract a particular type of person. It's the person who wants the job that shouldn't get the job, if that makes sense.
It was Thomas Sowell, if you don't mind me butting in.
Sure.
He said that if you enjoy board meetings, you shouldn't be in politics.
Oh.
It's like power. It's like they never had power before, but you've usurped it. It's like you were bullied in school, so you became a lawyer so you could bully other people.
It's extraordinary. So the people who are attracted to politics, by and large, who want to get in. And this is one of the reasons we had to set up our own party, because all the other parties were popular by people. Their primary objective was to get a job on the executive of whatever they set up.
Yeah. Malcolm Turnbull, I want to be Prime Minister.
Yeah, which party?
Don't care.
There you go. They just want it. During the talks, when I'm explaining the purpose, method, end state, and I did it on the show, and there's an end and a means to an end. And the analogy I used was, if you are trying to resolve a siege hostage situation, is your mission to save the lives of the hostages or kill the terrorists?
Yeah.
Now, one's an end and one is a means to an end.
Yeah.
I have got so many advice from people saying, you've got to get into power. That's your first objective. No, my objective is to save Australia. Getting into power is a means to an end. Yeah. And that's what they don't get. I get so many people telling me how to get into power. I know how to get into power. That's easy. Take the money, bend over, and satisfy somebody else's needs. No. That's why, and we were warned, and I'm happy with it. This is going to take longer to get going than we would like, because it's not about getting into power. It's about saving the country. And as I said to you before, when I explained our lines of operation, we could feasibly achieve our strategic intention and never get one member of parliament elected.
Yeah.
That's how it's, politics is the most visible but least critical line of operation to our success. And that's the test. We don't care. We'll get in because it accelerates the process, and you get into power, you can do things faster.
Yeah.
But it's the most visible but least critical. And so, unfortunately, politics attracts the people that want power. Yeah. A1 is about attracting people who want to save the country. Yeah. And when they ring up and say, "Oh, look, they'll send me their CV or they'll run down who they are and what they've done," I say, "You're perfect as a candidate." And they'll say, "But I know nothing about politics." And I say, "Even better."
You're not corrupted
the
by
last things we need are more politicians and more lawyers. No, go away, please.
It's a definition of insanity. If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got, which is this. It's crap. It doesn't work for the progressives. It doesn't work for the conservatives. We're not going to move forward, We've got one job to do, that's save the country. But that's everybody's job. And that's when I was talking about you've got to transition from being the guerrilla army to the conventional army. You've got to transition from being the digital warrior to the physical warrior. You've got to take an interest in your school curriculum. You've got to take an interest in the planning for your local council. You've got to take an interest in fill in the blank. You've got to do it, folks, because it'll be taken from you. Like they're taking Australia Day. You can't have Australia Day, but you can have Invasion Day dawn service. Yeah. Speak up. Say this is outrageous. That's the last line. You're not getting back in if you do this. Speak your mind.
I'm in the process of writing the Australia Day address that I'm going to record shortly. And I was bouncing it backwards and forwards, a couple of different approaches, and that newspaper article about the Australia Day being cancelled, but sorry day or whatever it is, dawn service. I'd made my mind up what I was going to do. And I won't talk about the theme now, but it's confirmed exactly what the theme of this year's Australia Day address must be, because this is going to be the last one, unless we are very, very, very careful. Unless Australians start to realise that they have to stand up and start knocking on their MP's door, start getting involved in school curriculum, start getting involved in planning, start getting involved in every aspect of political life to the level at which you are comfortable. You've got to physically get involved now. You've got to turn up to meetings and put a finger in somebody's face and say, like I've done over and over and over again, and say, the curriculum is wrong. Why are you teaching kids to masturbate and not teaching them their times tables? Yeah. And if that means the local bishop, then do it. If you're a Catholic, just for information purposes.
Go for it.
They work for you. Sovereignty lies with every individual Australian. And I love saying it because it really gets the audience's attention. It doesn't matter if you're a millionaire from Point Piper or a prostitute from Emerald. You are equal. That's it. You are absolutely equal. Now, you might not be as smart, you may not be as rich. It doesn't make any difference. Either every one of us is of equal worth or not.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And if we're not, well, put your chains back on and get back into your prison cell, because that's what they have in mind for you.
It's coming, and some people will find that comforting. As long as they get to play video games and be fed and be secure and get a UBI, Universal Basic Income, like what we're getting now in Australia. What is it, $1,600 a month? Is that what people are getting on Job Seeker?
It's the Jews. Moses led them out of Egypt, and as soon as it got tough, they weren't yearning for freedom. Oh, let's go back to Egypt. At least we had food and shelter.
Yeah.
See, that's human nature. Human nature hasn't changed in thousands of years.
Yeah. And speaking about thousands of years ago, every night I read a chapter from the Bible like you do with your family. I was reading one last night, and it was Paul. This is in the book of Acts. I think it was chapter 14. Paul was in one of the Greek towns, a few Greek towns, and he was touring with some of the disciples of Jesus, and I was thinking about censorship. You know how we're censored off social media and all of that. And I was thinking, this guy is getting censored like no tomorrow. If he gets kicked out of a town, he walks back in and keeps preaching. If he gets kicked out of one town, he goes to another town and he preaches some more, even with the death threats. You know, we talk about unpersoning and being silenced like it's death. And in a way it is, you know. But you just keep going, guys. You just keep fighting. And as you said, don't be lazy. And I guess this is what it plays into. A lot of Q people are obviously very upset this last week, and I get it, guys. I really do. I've been with you the whole time. I mean, this has been the most transparent show. You guys were with me when my dad passed. You know, we don't get any foreign money, or we don't have any big institutional donors. We don't have any sponsors of the show, even though I'd like one, but we don't have one yet. That's the truth of it. I've been utterly transparent with you, and I finished last year's show with Romeo and you by saying, the moment I'm not transparent, I know you guys can end me. I know that. I'm not stupid. And I like it that way because you keep me accountable like we should be our politicians. But when I tell you that I've come to a conclusion on something, you can tell that I'm being honest and true. Now, this week, you know, I've talked about how I've been very discontent with the Q people, and that's my honest opinion. But one of the biggest phrases that enrages me so much about what you guys have been saying to me this week is trust the plan. Trust the plan. Now, it's not that I have a closed mind to these theories that you guys have. I actually have an open mind to it. I'm more than willing next week to change my opinion. But the problem is it reeks of laziness. It's like trust the plan. Donald Trump's got this. I can go to the bar and, you know, do whatever the hell I want. Maybe if you're young, go back to playing video games rather than striving. Every week, I show you videos of great intellectuals saying it's over. I don't do it because I enjoy putting you down. I don't do it so that you guys get disillusioned. I want to scare you into the reality that I see that we will lose this. We are on a downward trajectory, and we need to dig deep like the Anzacs did when they should have lost in the Middle East in World War I and II. They didn't. They dug deep and they kept fighting, and then they came out on top. And that's why generals like Rommel said, if I was to take hell, I'd use the Australians to take it and the New Zealanders to hold it. That's what we want to strive towards. Now, if you don't have it in you, maybe we don't deserve to survive. That's the truth of it, honestly. You know, that's how societies rise and fall. And if that's it, then it's like, so be it. I'm going to fight to the death. And that's not a throwaway, as Riccardo says. I mean it. I have relatives in the Middle East who have been beheaded because of their beliefs. So if you're not going to behead me, if you're not going to kill me and pull my tongue out, I'm not going to stop. So save your resources on me, because I'm not going to stop. And I hope that you guys feel the same too. A lot of people this week have been wondering where Romeo Georges is. Now, Romeo's pulled back on a lot of what he's doing, and I respect his reasons for doing it. He's got a family. I don't. I've got no kids. But he has pulled back, and he'll only be on, I think, Telegram and YouTube. But he's been censored on all social media, Instagram, YouTube, 30-day ban, Facebook. So if you're wondering where he is, that's where he is. But you got to keep fighting. You have to keep fighting, damn it. Otherwise you will lose this. And that's the thing. I love you Q people. We go back and forth and we have our jokes and fun. But I'm trying to give you this advice about the reality of the situation so we can move forward, because it's the sooner we do that and the less we say lazy phrases like trust the plan, the more you will be encouraged and emboldened to actually do something. We can't do what we've always done. Have I got that wrong?
No, that's exactly right.
And what that looks like is, I play my small part. But what that looks like is this. We've talked about voter fraud.